Alright, I think I got past it. So this puzzle, after looking at all the paintings, you need to match up similar themes of this big painting with the smaller painting to decide what the title of this painting is. And I think this translates to, in the garden sleeps a messenger. Yeah. Now we have successfully summoned the boss. This guy supposedly has incredibly high vitality. So you're supposed to use magic against him. I'll be the judge of that. We use Meltdown to reduce his vitality. And then we just attack normally. These bosses aren't really meant to be too terribly hard, because they all have to be balanced around you not having your full arsenal available to you. This boss reminds me of one of the bosses from Chrono Trigger, in that the large guy will always drain health from the smaller guys. And like the real fight is killing the small guy. With Meltdown, most bosses are a joke. Being able to reduce the boss's vitality to 0 just makes physical attacks all the more stronger. They're already strong, but now they're just ridiculous. I would like to be able to resurrect, just in case. By grabbing this key, it activates the Red Giant fight. We already fought a bunch of Iron Giants in Esthar, and they were bad enough. Red Giants are stronger, and if they're not immune to blind, they're gonna rough me up pretty bad. We're gonna have Quistis cure us up with triple. Ooh, they are immune to blind. Okay. So we shouldn't have anything to fear from this guy. Did I say they were immune to blind? I said they aren't immune to blind. So this guy... he shouldn't be able to attack us at all. Seems like he has much less health than a normal Iron Giant. So with expend 3-1, it means whenever I triple cast a magic, instead of using 3 stacks, it only use 1 stack. This would be good if I were worried about ever running out of magic. Which I'm not really. We're going to go back up to the main hallway and save now. Even in time compression, we're still getting paid. Alright, for this next section, we actually have to use 2 parties. Hopefully, I hope there aren't any random battles here, because I don't want to change junctions. There are random battles. How frustrating. Can I escape? Okay. Why can I not do this? I'm supposed to be able to walk on that portal. I'm sorry. The background is unclear. I should be able to walk on this portal. It is not letting me. Thank you. Wow, okay. Oof. This game was fine until Ultimasia's Castle, and then everything's just not going well. I had heard the PC port was a bit iffy, but I hadn't experienced it until now. Okay. You know what I just realized? I think maybe all of the bosses here are like twisted versions of the Guardian forces in some way. Like the red giant being Alexander, this being Carbuncle. So normally this boss you're supposed to use magic against because again, its physical defense is insanely high. But with Meltdown, you can melt that defense right down. Alright, so now we're going to go back down to the main hallway, down to this lower chandelier area, and up through that door to the courtyard. I never unlocked draw, so I can't draw now. I think this right here is where the super secret boss spawns, but he's not here yet. Now, if you run on that bridge, the key will fall off, so you have to walk. Alright, we're going to go all the way back to the front entrance again. We're going to go back to the painting room and through the doors to the north of it. There's not a whole lot to say here. With Diablos' Encounter None, I'm not really doing anything but running around. Alright. Where are we going now? Alright, this is our next boss. It's very reminiscent of the two hands we fought in the dungeon leading to Estar. Ooh, the head is susceptible to everything. That's interesting. Everything is susceptible to everything. That's interesting. Okay. Alright, that wasn't actually the boss. This guy is the boss. Looks like he's got a strong counter to physical attacks, so we're gonna just use Squall. Again, the strategy is meltdown, meltdown, meltdown. So I believe that was slow and curse, meaning we can't use limit breaks, and we're slower, but we don't have limit break. I don't think we have limit break unlocked yet, so... Two hits with Squall, and with Meltdown backing him up, is enough to take him out. So I believe having killed that enemy, another key appears in the courtyard. So we're going back to the main hallway, back to the lower floor of the chandelier room, up to the courtyard, then we'll get a key. Yeah, it's invisible, which is not very helpful. Well, there it is. Alright, we're going back to the main hall again. And we're going to go up the stairs and to the left this time. Seems like there's a door right here. Okay. Alright. So, a recolored behemoth boss. he's susceptible to blind, which makes this fight a joke. But it would be a joke if he were a physical fighter. This behemoth-like boss is more of a magic attacker. Alright, so this is his death throw ability. He is a dead. So as long as we survive a really weak meteor, we're golden. Alright. One more boss remains. Let's get items, just in case. We're gonna go back past the chandelier room, past the main courtyard. We're gonna use... we're gonna go to that area where the armory key was about to fall off the bridge. And up this spiral staircase should be the last optional fight. Or the last boss battle. This I actually don't think is optional. It's directly in your way. No, it is optional. It's... You have to go through a slightly hidden thing. We need to jump onto this rotating bell thing. And then jump off of this and go to this balcony. And here we'll fight Tiamat, the recolored Bahamut. Now, remember that long and arduous side quest we did to defeat Ultimate Weapon and get Eden? Well, you can draw Eden from this thing, which is not fair. I don't think I'll ever do the Deep Sea Research Facility again if I replay the game. So this is an actual boss here. This thing has almost 100,000 health. So we're actually going to get triple on Renoa. We're going to have her cast Flare. Maybe. Elemental abilities won't work on her. So we're going to have triple cast Ultima. I don't think I showed this in a video, but we got 100 Ultima Stones from Ultimate Weapon, and we just threw those on Renoa for Ultima. Yeah, triple casting Ultima is good damage. It's pretty much the only way at this point in the game where magic users are worthwhile. With Meltdown, triple casting Ultima, 100,000 health goes down pretty quickly. Now there is one more optional battle I could do. I don't really want to do it though. I think the actual ultimate optional battle has 1,000,000 health, which isn't too bad if you're using Aura. I don't know, guys. I don't even remember how to summon it. I think there was a trigger, and then you had to get back to that room with the purple cloud within a few minutes. We're just gonna go on to Ultimacia, I think. I think we're ready to beat the game. You know what? I'll use a tent. I bought them for a reason. Do I even have a tent? I don't. That's hilarious. Oh well. Now I could use this. Opportunity to use the Tonberry shop, buy a bunch of stuff, refine them into higher level medicine, refine them into like mega elixirs or full lives or stuff like that. I don't think it's necessary for us right now. We're already way too powerful. But there is Ultimacia in all her glory. Somehow her dress is staying in place. Don't understand how. Now the battle begins. 3 of your characters are chosen to start the fight at random. I think Squall is always in your party. See, I got Zell and Irvine. Now, when they die, Ultimacia will remove them from the fight and replace them with another party member. So hopefully we get lucky and get a decent party member. But who knows, Squall may be able to do this fight on his own. Usually when you see like a little cherub angel like that, it's a good thing, but that Zell has been destroyed. There's Selphie. She's not going to be any help. I think even with Squall's lower than usual magic power, regen is almost 500 a tick. That's gotta be worth it. There we go. We actually got a decent party member now. But now, Ultimacia. Ultimacia casts her own GF. Now, if you remember, during the attack of Balam Garden and Galbadia Guardian, Renoa asked her what the name of our lion ring was, and we said Griever. And I guess at some point in the future, Griever actually becomes a GF. And now we have to fight our own creation. Now, Griever is especially dangerous because one of his abilities will destroy an entire stack of magic from a person's inventory. I think even it's this right here. Fortunately, he only got 1. He can get 100. But he's going to use our own magic against us right now. Quistis has Doom on her. I'm hoping Asuna... Okay, so Asuna does not remove Doom. Those last two, I did press the button. I should also dispel the triple. I'm just trying to see if anything dispels Doom. If we get Renoa next, it'll be useful. But we will have to revive Quistis once she dies. There we go. Okay, we got our team. I think Renoa was the very last one, so we had to get her. This is another instance of things being just twisted. Like, I made the assumption that the bosses we fought in Ultimacia's castle up to this point were twisted versions of the GS. Now we're going to see a twisted version of the junction system. Rather than junctioning Griever to Ultimacia, Ultimacia is going to junction herself to Griever. We've got nothing to do until Quistis dies. Hopefully we may even be able to finish the fight. Before she dies. Can I press the down button, please? Oh good, the boss can still be hit by Meltdown. My aura wore off only after one. I'm gonna speed Ultima up here. Now the Helix it just summoned is going to increase their stats. And if they get 2 Helixes out, they're going to do an ability that actually will do damage to us. Thankfully, Squall's Limit Break takes care of this pretty quickly. Quistis is still on the clock. She still has Doom to her. She's bound to die pretty soon. Alright. There's just one final form of Ultimacia left. We see as her face disappears, she becomes more robotic, almost like an artificial intelligence. Maybe there's more of a story to tell in the future, but we don't know. If I had waited, I could have used Quistis' Limit Break. What the? What the? What? We'll keep speeding up these Ultimas. We know what they look like. Okay, part of me wants to be really risky and wait until Quistis, her turn comes around again, so I could try to White Wind. But leaving everyone's health at 1? I don't know. So right there, our entire stack of Cura was taken away from us. Renoa no longer has Cura. Quistis no longer has Drain. As this fight drags on, we get weaker and weaker, as magic that we have junctioned can be taken away from us. With Quistis learning White Wind, this Hell's Judgment isn't really a big deal for us. I wonder if Invincible Moon is going to make us immune to heals as well. That might actually be very dangerous. No, okay. So now Angelo has made us invincible. Okay, we can't cast support magic. I learned that earlier, I just forgot. I just tried to do it again. Oh well. And Ultima is really good because it attacks everything at the same time. Okay, so right now, Ultimacia is dead. We just have to hit her with anything to progress her dialogue box. And thus it ends. So time is still wonky. And Laguna's theory was that the only way we would survive is if we held on to our connections with each other. And everyone throughout this journey has connected with each other pretty significantly. But Squall has had it the hardest out of all of them. He started the game off just not wanting anything to do with anybody, having trouble with connecting with everyone. He's had the least amount of time being open and honest and connected with everyone. So we see everyone here trying to get home. We haven't seen Squall yet. And whereas everyone else is in that white screen together, Squall is here alone. We see Squall pop up back in the time of his childhood, rather than present day. Now, remember, Idea said that she got her sorceress's powers by inheriting it from a dying sorceress because she didn't want any of the kids getting their power and being prejudiced against. But we see now time is a loop. We defeated Ultimacia, but Ultimacia is the one that Idea inherited her powers from. So, again, time is a loop. Idea was the one who came up with the idea of seeds and gardens, but now we see that Squall maybe is the one who implanted that idea into her in the first place. Squall gets his head together. His interactions with Adea helps him find his place, reminds him of where he belongs. But is it too late? Everyone else seems like has already gone. So this was Final Fantasy VIII. It's a lot of people's least favorite of the PlayStation 1 Final Fantasies. I think mechanically I can understand that. It's very easily broken. Just by trying to obtain the ultimate weapons, I became so much more powerful than I needed to be. The weapons themselves weren't much of an upgrade, really. It's the magic and power I got along the way just made things absolutely trivial. So I think to enjoy this game to the fullest, you really have to do some sort of challenge run. I started off trying to do one, sort of, but I abandoned it in search of the ultimate weapons. If I ever play this game again, I'd like to try a level 1 game. Story-wise, I think it's fantastic. I think there are a lot of really great character moments. I think Cypher and Squall mirror each other in really interesting ways. Cypher starts the game off with a good group of friends, but his actions cause him to almost lose them, whereas Squall starts off with no friends. And whereas Cypher's friends don't necessarily give up on him, but they fade away from him until the end credits. Squall's friends never give up on him and eventually drag him out and make him open up. The fact that Cypher was Ultimacia's knight and Squall was Renoa's knight, it just completes the mirror. I think the time stuff is dumb. I think this game could have been done with Ultimacia being just existing in this world currently. She could still possess everyone and even want something stupid like time compression or just creating her own world. But I don't think actual time travel and fighting a sorceress from the future was necessary. But it didn't really detract from all that much. Unfortunately, fast forwarding doesn't work on the credits. The junction system, I like the idea behind it. I would like the ability to change junctions in the middle of battle somehow, especially the elemental attack junctions. I feel like elemental attack only works if you're using a strategy guide and know exactly what the upcoming boss is weak to. Otherwise, you get into like a Ruby Dragon problem. Like you're going to the deep sea research facility, you fight those two forced Ruby Dragons. What if you have fire elemental attack junction? You're just screwed. That's just an automatic loss. So it would have been nice to be able to like turn that off or something, or change it. I made this point before. I think there are certain things to the battle system that should have been baseline without having to rely on GFs. I think using items, drawing from enemies, maybe even using magic should be baseline without having to rely on GFs. I think the game probably would have been better off where if GFs only gave you passive abilities or GF-specific abilities like Mad Rush. Those segments in the game where I was stuck using a character that didn't have any GFs or an entire different party without GFs were just painful. Those Laguna segments where I didn't have control of who got sent, and sometimes people without magic got sent, and I just had one character or two characters who they could only attack. Those segments were just less fun than they could have been. The romance honestly feels a bit rushed. I think the game should have dedicated just a little bit more. Just have a few more scenes between Squall and Rinoa before any romance actually starts happening. Especially Rinoa, because I feel like she goes from being disappointed in Squall or frustrated to madly in love with him, I guess. It's when you save her from those two iguanas creatures back after she fails to put the Odin bangle on Idea. That's not a healthy start of a relationship. Being in a traumatic experience like that, it skews your affections, I think. So it would have been nice to have some more scenes justifying her feelings, even her growing feelings. Maybe have Squall do some nice things just normally and have her react to them. But it is what we've got. And it's not terrible. If they actually remade this game, I'm sure it would be fantastic. But I'm actually scared if they do, because Final Fantasy VII Remake is an actual remake. The story is going to be completely different. Which may or may not be a good thing. It all depends on what the next games in that remake series turn out to be. But that's Final Fantasy VII. This is Final Fantasy VIII. And I think I've said all I need to say. It's a good game. I had fun with it. I think I'll have even more fun my next playthrough when I do even more of a challenge run. But that's it. See ya.